All right, guys, before we get into it, I want to remind you to, if you like the content, to like and subscribe. We got some pure Paladin for you today. This deck is like the best one as of day 4 in the format. It's like a 56.5% win rate. This deck is nuts. I've played about 7 or 8 games with it so far. I've only seen one game right now, but I think I'm undefeated with that deck. I may have lost one in there, but I am really excited to show this one. Really excited to see how the meta settles as we get going. I have to learn these card saves, and I'm sorry, because I've not played Paladin in quite a long time. We're going to play the 1-mana 1/3 that discounts your Librams. He's going to hit it, and he does it for a reason. We'll get into it for a second, but we're just going to buff it next turn with the Hand of Adal. Draw a card. Always draw cards first, and we're going to hit him face for 3. So Pure Paladin is just powerful. It's able to be really aggressive and go tall while still just having a lot of consistent threats. So he wanted to hit the 1/3 there to weaken it for Fan of Knives, but we're going to play a 4/2 also, that if we have no neutral cards in our deck, we get a weapon. We're going to go face for 7. This deck has a whole lot of tempo. It reminds me a lot of Highlander Hunter with the ability to buff minions, which is scary because on-curve powerful plays coupled with big buffs is great. He's going to eviscerate my 4/2 and backstab my 4/2 and eviscerate my attendant. So I lose my board, but that's okay. I don't really care about the weapon. We have another weapon generator in our hand. And if it can stick, it can be buffed to 8/8 with the Blessing of Authority. We're just going to play another Libram discounter and buff it as well in hopes to get the Blessing of Authority to stick. I probably should have played the Libram of Wisdom there just to give it a little more buff. So this guy's deck is really interesting. It's a very combo-oriented deck, and he's going to go into Questing Adventure and freeze my minion. We do get a Libram of Hope. We're going to play our 4/2 again that generates weapons and trade into it. We do not want that getting too big. And then we'll buff the 4/2 so we can't just backstab it. Again, we're trying to get that Blessing of Authority to stick if we can. We also have the Eldor Braggart, which is a really good card. Like, it buffs the attack, it copies the highest attack on the field and the highest health on the field. And it's just a good card. You can play it on curve if you have some buffed minions. Like having a 3 attack minion and a 3 health minion will just make him a 3/3 on curve. And that, in the early game, especially against controlling decks, can be pretty good. I really like the way this deck plays. It feels like it makes sense, and I feel like if you can put together the deck, you'll pick it up pretty quickly. He's going to play Secret Passage there. Double his hand back into his deck and draw 5 cards. That card is powerful. And it also lets him kind of find outs to stuff. He's going to play another Questing Adventure. He's going to prep. He's going to buff it quite a bit this turn, too. He's going to Shiv my 3/2. He's going to eviscerate the 4/3. It's not bad that he's clearing my board because he does have to... He loses some burn in doing it, right? Like, he can't just hit me from face. I think all the animation kind of messed with how my computer was doing stuff. So, but he cleared my board. He has a 5/5 now. We're going to play our Braggart now. It's just going to copy it. And then we can buff it with the Libra of Wisdom, as well as discount our Devoted Pupil. And just use our Hero Power to summon a 1/1. And we're going to trade into it. And the reason we're trading into it is, so even if he does buff it more, which he will because I can't kill it, he'll still be in range to my other minions to kill it. And we have Healing in hand with the Libram of Hope. And I feel pretty good from this point. He's at 12 health. He's traded face a lot. But he's going to get a Pharaoh Cat here. He's going to buff quite a bit. He gets his Pharaoh Cat. He Shadow Steps his Pharaoh Cats. Plays it again. He's already got him +3 stats on his Questing Adventure. He's going to get Evil Miscreant. He's going to break the shield. He's going to play a lackey. He got 6 plus stats there. Then he can also trade into the 1/1. We do a few plays here. We're going to play the... we're going to play the shield bot. I wasn't thinking of playing the shield bot. And we're going to buff our Braggart by 8 and trade. The idea there is not to get to stick. It's more just to kill the adventurer. He also got Nat Pagel off of Faceless. That's going to draw him a bunch of cards because Libram Paladin, by Libram I definitely mean Pure Paladin. Pure Paladin has trouble going wide. So if you can create just a wide board, you're going to be able to pressure Pure Paladin quite a bit. And that's what he kind of does this whole game. Which is fine, because I know Rogue doesn't have a bunch of taunts. So we want to really go face as best we can. He's going to Icicle, which he discovered off of Wand Thief, and then trade into it. I still have a 2/2, which can stick and do stuff, but he also plays an Edwin off of this, which is nuts. At this point, I'm kind of hoping he doesn't kill it, so I can just buff it with spells, some Liadrin. And he actually doesn't. I think that is a mistake. I don't think you want to keep minions on board. But we're going to see what 1/1s we can get first. So my plan here, now that I have that, is to play the 3/1 with Stealth, so I can buff it with Liadrin next turn and just go face for lethal. And then we're going to also play the Libram of Hope to create an 8/8 and just go face. Again, we're trying to create pressure so he has to react and hopefully not clear our board. I realize that the 8/8 contest Edwin, but the 8/8 may not kill Edwin, which could be bad. He's going to play his King Togwaggle and get the wand and draw 3 cards and make them cost 0. Now, I forgot at this point that he does run Fan of Knives, and Fan of Knives can kill my 3/1. I think another play there, I'm not sure what my deck tracker said. I know deck tracker is not up on this video. I will post a deck in the description. I wish it had your Libram counts. How many Libram of Wisdoms did you play? Because Liadrin can generate quite a lot. Unfortunately, he does kill the Stealth. And if I knew how many it made, I may have gone in with Liadrin and gone face with the shielded mini-bot. And maybe that's something I need to work on, is counting how many Librams I'm playing and have. The good thing about his deck right now is the only real threat he has on board is Togwaggle. He used both his Questing Adventurers as well as his Edwin, so he's no real big minions left. I disconnected you, as you can see. So we're going to play our Shield Bearer, and I think we're going to buff him. We're just kind of getting things lined up for Liadrin, which we're going to play immediately. The issue right now is with this deck is we don't have any card draw, so I only get 4 Librams, and I could not have played Liadrin and got a Hand of Aldor also. So luckily we didn't miss lethal with the Shield Minibot, and we also are going to spread out the buffs so we can hopefully get damage to face. Another thing that we also got back was our Libram of Hope, which allows us to play another 8/8 with taunts. He's going to actually get a Mummy off his Reborn, which is great for him because that is just 6 damage wherever he wants to put it, as long as it's not my face. He's going to clear my taunt. We do get all the buffs back, thankfully. Unfortunately, he can kill my Liadrin. So I think the play next turn is, if I don't draw anything, it's going to have to be Libram of Hope. Penflinger is a really interesting card. I don't know how many decks are running it. I've seen some Zoo lists with it. I've seen some Rogue lists also. I'm not entirely sure if it is. It seems like a weird combo card. But we get a whole bunch of Librams back, and I think we actually overdraw because of it. Yeah, I think we overdraw this turn, which is a bit unfortunate because I think we burned a really good card. He gets his Penflinger back. He gets Wand Thief. He actually discovers a secret off this, which we accidentally get through lethal at the end of this. Spoiler, we do win this game. But his cards are going back in his deck, and I realized he's almost out of cards. So now my idea is to kind of fatigue him, and that can happen pretty quick with Nat Pagle. We actually overdraw the Devoted Pupil, and I'm thinking here, he discovered a random mage spell. I'm thinking of buffing his own minion to try and counter it, and I realize that's a bad idea. Just play to your out. So we're going to play the Leader of Hope, get an AA taunt. Luckily, it is not a counter spell. We're going to draw a card as well, just to try and get stuff set up for next turn. We'll end the turn there. He's going to draw 2 cards. I think he has 2 or 3 cards left in his deck, which is pretty good for us. This is a really good mid-range deck that's able to go pretty tall. Unfortunately, he has Flick, and Flick is going to be able to kill my 8/8 as well as Shadow Step it back to hand. So now I'm actually kind of worried because I have no minions, and I have 1 minion, but it's going to get flicked pretty easily. And he's just kind of pressuring me pretty well. But I think I talked about in the Hunter video that a lot of pure Paladins right now are not running Consecration, which I think it might be a bit of a mistake. That might be a card you want to find a slot for. But we're going to play our 5-mana taunt that discounts Librams. And luckily we drew the Braggart, so we can play it also, which will let us go tall. So even if he does flick us with his minion, we can still push damage if we need to. At this point, I know the card's not Counterspell, which is really good. It could still be Vaporize. He's going to flick the 5-minion taunt, as well as kill the other one in my deck. I'm going to get a bunch of Librams back, though. He's going to trade in. He actually gets pretty close to killing this minion, but he does not. He gets 1 away. I don't know if he miscounted or what, but he just gets almost there, but not quite. He gets it down to 2, and then he Preparation shivs it. Unfortunately, that's not enough for him. And now I'm thinking if it's Vaporize, it's Vaporize. We have to kind of play into it. We have Refill with Goody 2 shields and the 7-mana 7/7 that puts 5 Paladin spells in your hand if you have only a pure deck. And I play it first. I forgot the reason why, but there's a thought process. I think it was so I had something else to buff if this died. Luckily, it's not, and we get exact lethal because we got a 16 attack.